not gonna move around much because apparently they don't want me to fall off the stage. One time. So I am so happy to be here with all of you guys. It's been an incredible weekend. What we've been able to do together, raise millions of dollars. It's just been so inspirational to hear some of the stories and the things going on from the people in this room and across the nation and the world. So, before I start, I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause for all we've been able to accomplish. Because of you guys, we are saving people. We are saving lives. We are making a difference. Never forget that. It's because of people like you that I am here today and survivors across the globe are. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. My greatest hope is that I can inspire you to get out there to do more. Because the bottom line is, without funding, the stories of cancer patients around the world would simply not end the same way mine did. As you just saw in the video, I have been battling a brain tumor for most of my life, and at my first diagnosis as a baby, there was not much hope. My mom's refusal to accept that is what led us to the clinical trial in New York, and it ultimately saved my life. The procedure used in that clinical trial was soon to become the standard care for other children like me. Periodically throughout my life, my brain tumor has recurred, and each and every time it led to another trial with lots of central line surgeries and chemotherapy treatments. How were those trials available? They were available because of people like you were out there working to raise those mission-critical funds that allowed those trials to exist before I was ever sick at all. My body has endured so much and continues to endure a lot in the form of both my tumor and my treatments of those side effects. In addition to that, having cancer can leave you with physical, visible, and not so visible scars. And what I want all of you to understand is that it wasn't just the clinical trials that saved me. The truth of the matter is, it was the American Cancer Society through Relay for Life that saved me too. As a teenager, I was enduring yet another recurrence, which meant yet another year of chemotherapy, leaving me too sick to attend normal high school. I missed out on forming bonds with people my own age, and actually, in many ways, I didn't even really feel like I could relate to them at all. I had seen a world that none of them had seen, and I thought of their problems the same way we think of first world problems. I didn't care who was going to be benched on next Friday's game. I couldn't have cared less that the guy in third period had his girlfriend stolen by the guy in fifth period. In other words, I just couldn't relate to their petty, non-life-threatening problems many of my peers were experiencing. I felt older, wiser, and very, very mortal. I just wanted to live. Enter the American Cancer Society and Relay for Life. For those who really get Relay for Life, it's not really just about raising money to cure cancer. It's about having a passion to make sure cancer patients are living their best possible lives, giving them support where it's needed, along with providing the best possible treatment outcomes. It's about finding people who understand what you are going through and for whom you can give encouragement to in return, because you have been there before. It's about meeting new people who become a huge support network for you. People who become some of your closest friends, and in some cases, may even become your family. I never had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Gordy Clapp, but that didn't stop him from inspiring me to get involved. And this part may be a little hard for me, so bear with me. But I did have the opportunity to have the person we affectionately call the mother of Relay in my life. I met Miss Pat Flynn when I was 16 years old, and I instantly adored her. She became my friend, and her passion was something that inspired me even more I'm sure that she and Dr. Klatt could have never anticipated just how much of a role they would play in the world of cancer fighting all of those years ago, or just how many people would become a part of their Relay family. I am here to tell you, my friend Pat played a significant role in changing my life forever. She may have even been involved in some matchmaking shenanigans, but that's an entirely different story. My American Cancer Society family has gotten me through so much that I never could have gotten through on my own. I thank you for that, Pat, from the bottom of my heart, and I miss you. I'm so glad I got to see you one last time this year, and I'll treasure hearing your voice on the phone one last time just before you left. One thing is for sure, you will never, ever be forgotten. No one in this room will let you be forgotten. You heard how I first got started with Relay, but I wanted to tell you a story of someone who inspired me to keep relaying. I was at a Relay conference when I met Miss Natalie Hill. She was the first person in my community I had met who was my own age and who was also going through cancer treatment. We both knew that we were doing what we were doing in our volunteer work was making a difference in the lives of others. And we were on fire over fundraising to take on the world together. We focused on our Relay teams and we were unbelievably competitive, maybe like some of you in this room. But we were able to relate to each other on a level that other people just couldn't understand. Natalie was larger than life, and she had a passion for that life that was unparalleled. Natalie lost her leg to osteosarcoma, but it really didn't slow her down. She had lost most of her lung capacity, but even that didn't really slow her down. Natalie had the ability to make me forget I was sick and help me realize that life was really what you make of it, regardless of how long that life lasts here on Earth. Natalie was just 17 years old and could barely breathe, yet she understood when her doctors told her they couldn't waste a lung on a cancer patient. She desperately wanted to get into an extremely promising clinical trial. There simply wasn't enough funding for that trial, and it kept getting delayed over and over again. Maybe if I had worked harder, we could have gotten that trial funded. This is the part where I have to tell you that her story did not end the same way mine did. The reason we are here this weekend is because we all have a passion and dedication it takes to the outcome of stories like hers. On October 30th, 2013, I lost my best friend. And I hate cancer for taking her away from me. It's so very important that people never say she lost her battle with cancer. Cancer may have taken her life, but cancer was not able to take her spirit. Nat fought like a warrior to the very end, and for every other cancer patient she knew, living her very best life until the bitter end. And to me, that could never, ever be considered losing. Maybe the system failed her. We will never really know. But the clinical trial lacked the resources to enroll her and potentially save her life in time. The more we do, the more lives we can save, and the more funding there is for clinical trials and research. Many of us in this room have lost loved ones to cancer. And I can honestly say that losing Natalie was the most painful thing I have ever endured. The thing is, I had to keep my promise to her. I took that pain and I turned it into passion. Her life and her message to the world ignited my passion to do more. So I continue to fight on for every person who will ever be told that they have cancer. I know there are probably a lot of people who get sick of hearing us ask for their donations, and some of them get sick for hearing us asking them to participate in the American Cancer Society fundraisers for the Relay for Life. But I also know that the odds are pretty high that most of those people have been touched by cancer in one way or another. This is life and death, and we can't be scared to ask people to choose life. They need to understand that cancer is a disease that does not discriminate. It is a disease that knows no age, no gender, no religion, no race, no sexual orientation, and no politics. Cancer doesn't care whether you have your whole life ahead of you or behind you. Cancer can strike the baby boy who's just learning to take his first steps. A baby who is in so much pain that not even his mama's arms can comfort him. Cancer can strike the preschool-aged little girl whose highlight of the day was an afternoon playing with her friends at the park, but now consists of craft time with bandages and tongue depressors. Cancer can strike the teen who just wants to fit in, play on the basketball and soccer teams, or look beautiful at prom, but now has to learn to feel comfortable doing it all with one leg. Cancer can strike a young man in his prime and stealing the only son away from a grieving father who would have gladly taken his place. It will strike the young couple just starting out their lives together, leaving one of them to face the world alone. It will strike the young mother who fights with everything she has, but ends up leaving her children without the snuggles and gentle guidance only a mother can provide. Cancer can strike the father who just wants to live long enough to walk his baby girl down the aisle, or the grandfather who will miss the college graduation he scrimped and saved to pay for, or the best friend he shared all of your secrets with. Cancer can and will strike anyone, so why, I ask, would we not want others to be involved? Why would we not be brave enough to ask for donations or to ask people to get involved in our fight? This is not a disease that can be conquered by one man or one woman. This disease is going to take all of us to conquer it. Now I ask you, could you ever be content to sit on the sidelines and let cancer steal those that you love? Because I definitely could not. I am here to celebrate because, like some of you here today, I am a survivor. I am here to remember because, like many of you here today, I have lost loved ones to cancer. And I am here to fight back because, like those of you here today who may still have loved ones battling this disease, we refuse to give up hope. So to those we have lost, we remember you and will continue to fight on for those who follow. With every dollar we raise in each and every one of our communities, we are providing hope to those who may have lost it and the encouragement to keep fighting for those who really need it. I want all of us to get out there and do more, because until we have defeated cancer once and for all, there is no such thing as doing too much. Together, we can illuminate the darkness that a cancer patient faces. So please remember this. Not only are we relayers, each and every one of us in this room creates hope. Thank you for having me here today, and thank you all for being top performers.
I laugh because for Grant, who I adore and who adores my boys and my boys adore him, I bought my favorite book, which is The 5 Love Languages, but I bought it in the large print edition. He asked for descriptive audio of the book, which I can provide for you. His inspiration and his leadership, if you could have seen with a picture of him and Pat together, when they were all dressed up, was actually at my fundraiser this year in March, and Grant came up from Oregon to speak at it. He did pretty much that talk, and $35,000 was raised right after that. It was incredible. And to put faces and names to the stories of why we do what we do transforms our work from fundraising to changing and saving lives so that we will lead the fight for a world without cancer. We are thrilled to have shared your time this weekend. We are excited to see what's going to happen when you go back to your communities. We apologize we didn't have enough Kleenex on the table. And we are so honored that you spent this weekend with us. Thank you so much. Thank you to Grant. Thank you to all our speakers.